Welcome. I'm Inger, she is Rosie, and this is Be Free Yoga. We're so glad you joined us today. This is a 1-hour Vinyasa Flow Yoga class designed for all levels. Just modify based on your fitness level, any injuries you might have, and how you're feeling today, because every day is different and every body is different. If you like practicing with no music or with your own music, you're in the right place. If you prefer to practice with my carefully curated playlist, you can find these same classes on my website, www.befreeyogaAustin.com. And that's B with 2 E's, like the bumblebee. Also there you will find a relaxing guided meditation and written reflections on the weekly topic to help you on your spiritual path. Enjoy your practice today, and thank you so much for joining us. Hello, good day. Welcome to Be Free Yoga. My name is Inger, and this is Rosie, and welcome to the Valentine's edition. A lot of people don't really like Valentine's Day as far as holidays go. Some people think it's a Hallmark holiday. Some people feel pressure to be in a relationship around that time, and others feel pressure to do some grand romantic gesture. But the most important relationship we'll ever have is the one we have with ourselves. So I like to reframe Valentine's Day to be about self-love. And that is the theme of our class today, because that is a prerequisite to having a healthy relationship with anyone else. And in our culture, a lot of times, there's more self-loathing than self-love going around. The music in the playlist, if you're doing this class with music, is all about self-love. And you'll need 2 blocks and a strap. We only use the strap once, so you could use a dish towel or a belt or anything you have around. And when you're ready, meet me on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet together, knees wide. Slide your blocks underneath your knees for support. Place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Just bring yourself fully here and start to notice the rise and fall of your chest and belly. Take a full, deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Another full, deep inhale. Sigh it out. And settle into your own unique breath. Sending love to the nooks and crannies of yourself that need love and expansion. In the artwork of the Shona culture in Africa, this hand position is known as cradling, and it's a form of self-hug. Send love through your hands into these soft spots of your body. And just showing up as an act of caring and dedication to yourself. So continue that caring and dedication throughout class by making choices that are good for you. Take one more inhale. Exhale, reach down, close your legs like a book. Reach for the back of your thighs, rock and roll up, and come to a seat. Set one block to the side, grab your other block and hug it to your chest. Plant your feet flat on the floor and grip the floor with your feet and toes. Rather than being supported by your arms here, notice that you're being supported by an active spine. Then on the inhale, flex your toes, spread them wide, and exhale, lower one toe at a time onto your mat. Then inhale, lift one toe at a time, and exhale, lower one toe at a time. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Now keep the structure of your spine as you windshield wiper your knees side to side. Continue to squeeze your block. Place your block on the long setting between your knees. Lean back and support yourself with your hands and hover your feet. Circle your right foot out, releasing your ankle. Then your left foot out. Keep your chest lifted, your spine strong. And then both your feet inward. Send your feet some love. Think of all they do for you. Lower your feet to the earth and bring your block into the narrow setting between your knees in staff pose. Hug yourself, wrap your arms, take a nice bear hug, hands behind your shoulders, and squeeze your legs into your block. Flex your feet, lengthen your spine. Feel everything active here. Take a big breath in. Exhale, relax. Bring your block onto the high setting between your legs. And then spread your legs wider than your mat and point your toes. Keep your self hug here. And keep your spine long and active. Lift your left heel and rainbow over the tall block to hover on the right. And then rainbow over to the left. Hovering on each side. Keep rainbowing back and forth at a slow pace. 3, 4. One more time. 5. Send it down on the left. Readjust yourself and get ready for the other side. Hover your right foot, point your toes, keep your legs active. Start to rainbow back and forth. Still hugging yourself. 3. Remember to breathe. 4. And 5. Come back where you started. Set your block to the side. Cross your legs and come into tabletop. Flare your fingers. Press the tops of your feet into the floor to activate your hamstrings and glutes. Take some barrel rolls, jump roping your spine. Previously we had a stable, straight, stiff spine. Now we're bringing some fluidity, some motion into that area. And come back to center. Inhale, send your right arm high, open twist to the right. And exhale, thread the needle. Send your right arm underneath your left arm and bring your right cheek and shoulder to the mat. And press into the back of your arm to deepen your twist. Reach your tailbone high. On your next inhale, come back through your open twist, right arm high. And exhale into tabletop, other side. Left arm high. Exhale, thread the needle. Left cheek and shoulder to the mat. Again, press into the floor with the back of your left arm. Slow, deep breaths. On your next inhale, come back through your open twist. And exhale into tabletop. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees at first. Really focus on flattening your spine and opening your shoulders. Rotate your inner elbows forward. Then pedal out your legs. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, take tiny steps forward for ragdoll. Feet hip-width distance apart. Take a generous bend in your legs. And then take a bear hug, left arm on top. Let gravity pull your elbows down, opening your upper back and shoulders. Nice passive stretch here. On your next inhale, open your arms wide. Exhale, bear hug with your right arm on top. Reach for the backs of your shoulders. Let your elbows hang heavy. Inhale, open your arms wide. Exhale, hold opposite elbows behind your legs, hugging your legs now. We're going to be doing a lot of hugging in this self-love class. You can straighten your legs a tiny bit to fold yourself deeper. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Then release your grip. Toe heel your feet together. And roll up slowly. One vertebra at a time. Inhale, open your arms wide. Exhale, bear hug, left arm on top. Now we're going to actively stretch by lifting our elbows high and lowering them down. One more time, lift high and lower. Inhale, open your arms wide, reach your heart forward. Exhale, bear hug, right arm on top. Lift your elbows high and lower and lift and lower. Open your arms wide and then bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. Take a moment of intention setting here at the beginning of class. Watch your self-talk as you go through your yoga practice today, and if you see any negative self-talk coming in, replace it with something positive and loving. I am strong. I am capable. I am glorious. I am beautiful. I am loved. Take a full breath in to seal this intention. Exhale, open your eyes, release your hands, and find a block. Come up to bring your block to your chest and give it a hug. Feet are still together. Pick up all 10 toes and lower them one at a time onto the floor to create a strong base. Now cement your hips and lower lumbar spine in space and start to circle out your middle and upper back. Your thoracic and cervical spine are moving here. Hips stay still. Go a few times in one direction and then a few times in the other. Squeezing your block all the while. Then come back to center. Press your chest into your block as you squeeze it in. Exhale, tuck your chin. And roll down about a third of the way. Then inhale, roll back up. Exhale, tuck your chin, lower 2/3 of the way. Then unfurl your spine back to straight on the inhale. Last time, tuck your chin, fold down all the way. Release your block, set it to the side. Relax your head and neck and shift your weight forward into the balls of your feet. Separate your feet hip width distance apart and roll back up. Bring your hands onto your hips. Now we're going to bring the circling motion into our hips and our lumbar spine. Bend your knees and circle your hips in one direction. A couple of times that way, and then swing them around the other way. Very fluid movement here. Then come back up to standing. Find your gorilla arms. Bring your fist to your chest. Roll your shoulders up and back. Gorilla back bend. Imagine you're ripping apart your chest and exposing your heart. Draw your elbows behind you. Exhale, bear hug, round forward, tuck your chin. Hug yourself. Inhale, gorilla back bend again. Rip apart your chest. Exhale, round forward. One more time with each arm on top. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, hug, left on top. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, hug. Inhale, gorilla back bend. Spread through your collarbones. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, puff up your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Send your knuckles high as your head goes low. Every time we hug in class, we're opening our upper back and closing and rounding forward. A heart opener will counteract that, opening our heart space, squeezing our shoulder blades together. On your halfway lift, look at the top of your mat. Lower your hips and rise up on your tiptoes. Keep your knuckles high. Remember to breathe. One more inhale here. Exhale, ball pose. Release your grip. Bring your feet together and lower your hips to your heels. Hug your legs into your chest. Option for a block under your heels for stability. Maybe make a game of it today. Anytime you're hugging yourself or find yourself in ball pose, pay yourself a compliment. Think of something right now that you can appreciate about yourself. On your next inhale, halfway lift, push into the earth with your feet. Bring your hands to your shins. Tweeze your shoulder blades together and flatten your spine. Reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Hinge forward slightly, lower halfway, elbows in with control. Inhale, up dog when you're ready, thighs off the floor, and down dog when you're there. Full breath in, lift your hips higher. Exhale, sink your heels lower. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, step or hop to the front, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sit back in your imaginary throne. Reach your arms high. Knees, chest, and chin reach forward as your hips go back. Squeeze your legs together, keep them active. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, spread through your collarbones. Exhale, forward fold, rise up on your tiptoes. Keep your hips low, reach your knuckles high, bend your knees. Inhale, come back through chair, send your heels down, lift your heart. And exhale, release into forward fold. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, one-legged mountain swan dive up. Lift your left knee. Draw your knee into your chest. Squeeze it in, hugging your knee. Feel the compression in your left hip. Have good posture here. Lower your shoulders, lengthen your neck. So we're stretching our hip. We are not using the muscles in our hip. We're going to now switch this to an active stretch. Keep your knee right where it is as you send your arms to the sides. Hold it there. Stay rooted down in your right foot. Exhale, hug yourself, left arm on top. Make it a nice, tight, firm hug. Now inhale, open your left knee to the side, hugging, open staff pose. Right angle in your left leg. And exhale, hugging dragon. Send your left heel back and up. Level your hips, hinge forward. Continue to hug yourself. Lift your heel a little higher. One more breath in. Exhale, warrior two, step back. Open your arms and open up to the side. Make sure your front knee is stacked over your ankle. Engage your right glute to open your knee. Active triceps. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, puff up your chest. Exhale, ostrich pose. Hinge forward, right shoulder inside your right knee. Press your palms together. Send your knuckles high. No tension in your head or neck. Keep your front knee open. With each exhale, sink a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, look forward, lead with your heart, rise up. Come back into warrior two. Exhale, bring your left palm to meet your right palm. Inhale, archer. Draw back your bow. Straighten your front leg. Send your right toes high. Everything's super active here. Then exhale, open your left hand. Shoot that arrow like you're Cupid firing an arrow at your own heart. Inhale, burst open into star pose. Take a bear hug, left on top. Inhale, lift your elbows high. Exhale, roll down about a third of the way. Inhale, roll up, lift your elbows high. Exhale, lower 2/3 of the way. Inhale, roll back up, elbows high. And exhale, lower all the way down. Parallel your feet. Release your hug, wide-legged forward fold. Option to find your blocks. If your hands are not comfortably flat on the floor, the blocks can help bring the earth closer to you. Shift your weight forward and then push your hands into your blocks and forward to help you fold deeper into your forward fold. Send your breath into the backs of your legs. Here for a couple more rounds of breath. On your next inhale, halfway lift. Set your blocks to the side. Exhale, walk to the front of your mat, low lunge. Inhale, high plank. Tight as light, lift your head, draw everything to the midline. Exhale, hinge forward, chaturanga. Option for your knees, or to skip it and meet in down dog. Up dog when you're ready. Down dog when you're there. Full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, step or hop to the front. Forward fold for the other side. Inhale, chair pose. Sit even lower this time. Reach your arms high. Exhale, take your non-habitual grip behind your back. Interlace your hands. Inhale, open your heart space. Exhale, forward fold. Rise up on your tiptoes again. Seal your feet together. Keep your hips low, your knees bent, your knuckles high. Inhale, lower your heels, sit back up through chair. And then exhale, forward fold, release your grip. Inhale, one-legged mountain swan, dive up, lift your right knee this time. Ground down into your left foot. And hold onto your right knee, squeeze it in. Lengthen your neck, lower your shoulders. You're going to keep your knee right there. Inhale, open your arms to the sides. Spread through your collarbones. Exhale, hug. Right arm on top this time. Inhale, open staff with a hug. Send your right knee to the side, opening your hip. Right angle in your right knee. And then exhale into dragon. Hugging dragon, hinge forward. Level your hips, draw your right hip down. Send your heel high. Find a drishti to help you balance. One more, inhale. Exhale, warrior two, step back. Open your arms wide. Imagine you're pressing down on something to fire up your triceps. Check in with your front knee. Open and make your hips low. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back, non-habitual grip on this side. Inhale, breathe in, open your chest. Exhale, ostrich. Left shoulder inside your left knee. Press your palms together as much as you can and keep your hips low. You can even use your left shoulder to open your front knee. Ground into both feet. On your next inhale, look forward, lead with your heart, rise up. Open your arms into warrior two. Exhale, bring your right hand forward, press your palms together, reach. Exhale, archer. Draw back your bow, front leg straight, foot flexed, arms super active, fire everything up. Exhale, open your right palm, let the arrow fly. Inhale, come up through star pose, point your toes to the corners of the mat. Activate your back body, open your hips. Exhale, bear hug, right arm on top. Inhale, lift your elbows up, look skyward. Exhale, roll down a third of the way. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower 2/3 of the way. Unfurl your spine, rise back up. And exhale. Lower all the way. Let the weight of your elbows draw you down towards your mat. Release your grip. Parallel your feet. Inwardly rotate your thighs. Option for your blocks. So you can press down and away from you so that you'll fold deeper. Lengthen the back seams of your legs. On your next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, set your blocks to the side. Come back through low lunge, top of your mat. Inhale, high plank. Press firmly into your foundation. Exhale, fight gravity into your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Full breath in. Open mouth, exhale, release some heat. Inhale, hinge forward to high plank. And exhale, slowly lower down to your mat. And meet in Sphinx pose on your forearms. Create number 11 with your forearms. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. And then traction your elbows back towards your hips as you reach your heart through the gate of your arms. Press your pubic bone down into the earth. Look forward. Now you might want to bring your elbows 1 inch closer to your hips. Lead with your belly button. Draw your core up. Hover your hips, still on the tops of your feet. And then lower back down through Sphinx. Reach your heart forward. We'll do that 5 times. Hover your hips, draw them up and in. Keep your core engaged. Exhale, Sphinx. 3 more. If your hips don't hover, that's okay. Just mimic this engagement. Really draw your hips up. Belly button in. 1 more. Hover. And lower. Come down onto your belly with your chin on the floor. Bend your right leg and reach back with one or both hands for a quad stretch. Draw your heel towards your glute. One more breath in. Exhale, release your right foot and bend your left foot. Draw your left heel into your glute. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Frame your heart with your hands. Push up through tabletop and come to a seat. Have a sip of water. Continue to send yourself loving thoughts. I love this quote by Hafiz. I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness the astonishing light of your own being. I felt that often in in-person yoga classes when I look around and I see people struggling with insecurity or negative self-talk. And then I just see like beauty and light shining out of them. I'm sure you felt the same way before too. Well, extend some of that to yourself. You've got the light. Then when you're ready, meet on your back for bridge pose. Plant your feet flat on the floor, hands by your sides. Ground down. Tuck your tailbone, lift your hips. Then root into your left foot, send your right leg high. Reach through your heel, flex your foot, big breath in. Exhale, hover your right foot to the front of the room. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hover. Pay attention to your left leg too. Keep pressing into it. Keep your hips high. Use your left glute. 3, 2, remember to breathe. 1, lower your hips, plant your right foot, cross your left leg over your right, and then hug your knees into your chest. Feel that nice stretch in your left glute. Full inhale and a full exhale. Uncross your legs, plant your feet, tuck your tailbone, lift your hips. Now ground down into your right foot, send your left leg high, big breath in. Exhale, hover it forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hover. Lift and hover. Keep your hips as high as you can. Keep pressing down with your right foot. Lift. Hover. Come back to the lift, then lower your hips. Plant your left foot. Cross your right leg over. Squeeze your knees into your heart. This is a hug. Think of a compliment. One more inhale. Exhale, uncross your legs. Come into waterfall, legs high, feet flexed. Activate the front of your legs to lengthen the back of your legs. And then lift your head and shoulders, reach high and climb an imaginary rope. Reaching on either side of your legs. Try and keep both shoulder blades off the floor as you climb. Remember to breathe. 4, 3, climb higher, 2, 1. Now we're going to keep climbing all the way up into flower bud. Rise up onto your hips and hug your legs. Balancing on your hips, hugging your thighs. See how straight you can make your legs. They don't have to straighten all the way. Can you keep your heart lifted, your spine straight? Everything's helping you balance here. One more inhale. Exhale, round your spine and roll down onto your back. And come into Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees wide. Left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. Let gravity open your knees a little bit more with every exhale. A moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of such moments can change the course of your life. Christopher Germer. Extend some forgiveness and compassion through your hands into your heart and your gut. One more deep inhale. Exhale, reach down, close your legs like a book, reach for the back of your thighs. Rock and roll up. You can go through a chaturanga or meet in down dog. We have one more standing series on each side. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a full inhale, press your chest low. Exhale, sink your heels lower. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Level your hips, flex your foot, flare your toes. Exhale, low lunge, step through lightly. Ground down into your front foot. Big transition. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Ground into your right foot. Lift your left knee. Active arms. Flex your lifted foot and then dial your left hip down as you reach up with your right hip. Exhale, draw your knee towards your chest, hug it in. Then inhale, open twist, left arm back. Lengthen your spine, then rotate your shoulders to the side. Find a gaze to help keep you steady. Hand at shoulder height. Big breath in. Exhale, figure 4. Cross your left shin over your right thigh. Bring your hands to your heart. You can stay here, upright, with a long neck, relaxed shoulders, or you can send your hips lower. Start to hinge forward, bringing your forearms to your shin. Imagine you have a bucket of water between your legs and you don't want to spill any, so level it out. And then to continue with our hugging theme, option to wrap your arms around your left leg and bring your prayer hands back together again. Can you sit your hips lower? Remember to breathe. On your next inhale, push into your standing leg, rise up the way you came, back into one-legged mountain, and then exhale into low lunge. Take your time, big, slow transition, giant, step back, land lightly. Come into runner's lunge, lower your back knee. Bring your hands inside your right foot and toe heel your right foot forward and out. You can use a block to rest on your forearms, or maybe they reach for the floor. With each exhale, let gravity pull your hips a little bit deeper. We're here for a few rounds of breath. On your next inhale, remove your block. Come up onto your hands for a quad stretch. Bend your back leg. Reach back with your right hand and capture your foot. You can have a block under your left hand, if that helps. And then imagine you're leaning against a wall behind you and open your top shoulder up more. Send breath where you feel tightness. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Modified ostrich, lift your back knee, plant your back foot, heel and all, and then walk your hands to the upper left corner of the room. You have warrior 2 in your lower body and down dog in your upper body. Keep your front knee open, your back flat, your hips low, grounded into both flat feet. You're strong. Hold it here for a couple more breaths. On your next inhale, halfway lift, look up and walk your hands back. Exhale into Skandasana. Bend your left leg. Right leg straight, outwardly rotate your thigh. Flex your foot skyward. You can bring one hand to your heart. You can bring both hands to your heart. Traction your front heel towards you for more stability. Keep your heart lifted, your shoulders relaxed. One more breath in. Exhale, walk your hands to the front of your mat and meet in ball pose. Bring your feet together. Sink your hips to your heels. Option for a block underneath your heels to keep you steady. Hug your legs. Send yourself a compliment. A new one you haven't used before. On your next inhale, lift your torso, bring your hands to your heart. Exhale, ball twist, twist to the right. Bring your left elbow outside your right thigh. Press your palms towards your heart center as you lengthen and twist your spine. You can put a block under your heels at any time for support. You can stay right here or move into noose pose. Bring your left hand underneath your legs and your right arm behind your back. Maybe your hands meet. Maybe they don't. It's okay if your knees go a little bit to the left. This is your opportunity to use your strap if you like to help you make that contact. It's kind of nice to have the leverage of your strap to help you rotate your shoulders and lengthen your spine more. One more inhale wherever you are. And exhale, forward fold. Straighten your legs, set your strap to the side. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Tweeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, chaturanga. Second to the last chaturanga of class. Inhale, up dog. Feel that nice lower back release. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, send your left leg high, other side. Exhale, low lunge. Step it through. Spread your toes wide on the floor, ground into your left foot now. Big transition, inhale, one-legged mountain. Lift your right leg, level your hips. Micro bend your standing leg, then grow your upper body 1 inch taller. Exhale, draw your right knee into your chest. Inhale, open twist. Keep holding your knee with your left hand. Send your right arm back. Arm at shoulder height. Lengthen and then twist. Maybe look to the back of the room if that works in your body. One more inhale. Exhale, figure 4. Face the front. Cross your right shin over your left thigh, hands to heart center. You can stay upright. You can fold forward. You can bring your forearms to your shin. Try and level out your hips. Don't drop any water. Option to hug your leg, wrap your arms, and bring your prayer hands together. See if you can go a little deeper into the posture. Find your inner focus and your outer focus. Working all our stabilizer muscles. On your next inhale, rise up, lift your right knee. Exhale, low lunge, slow controlled step back. Excellent, lower your back knee. Come into runner's lunge, hands inside your left foot. Send your left foot forward and out. And then settle into your runner's lunge for a few rounds of breath. Maybe bring your forearms to your block. With every exhale, release any tension in your pelvic floor. Let your hips sink lower. On your next inhale, remove your block. Come up onto your hands, take a quad stretch. Bend your right leg and capture it with your left hand. Draw your heel to your glute, option for a block into your grounded hand. Then open your top shoulder. Lift your chin. Send your hips a little bit lower. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Lift your back knee, plant your back heel. Modified ostrich. Walk your hands to the upper right corner of the room. Warrior 2 in your lower body and down dog in your upper body. Relax your head between your biceps. Reach your tailbone high, send your chest low. One more inhale. Exhale, Skandasana. Walk your hands to the back. Straighten your left leg. You can always use blocks to help you balance. Maybe your right heel's on the floor, maybe it's lifted. Remember to traction your left heel towards you. Send your toes and your knee to the sky. One more breath in. Exhale, ball pose. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Root into your front foot and bring your left foot forward and curl up into a ball. Maybe think of some compliments that someone else has paid to you that you just brushed off. Take a moment to really let it sink in now. Option for a block under your heels. Rise up, hands to heart center. Exhale, twist to the left. Bring your right elbow outside your left thigh. Press your hands towards your heart. Twist a little deeper. You can stay right here. You can come into noose pose. Reach your left hand behind your back and your right hand underneath your legs. If you're like me and your hands are miles apart, that's what your strap is for. Use the strap to help you lengthen your spine and open your shoulder. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Ground into your feet, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, last chaturanga of class. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, hinge forward to high plank. And exhale, to the count of 5, slowly lower down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Untuck your toes. Zip your legs together like the tail of a snake. Press the tops of your feet into the floor so that your knees lift. Frame your hands around your heart. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift your chest and chin. Little to no weight in your hands. Maybe you hover them off the floor. Fire up your back. One more inhale. Exhale, relax. Left cheek to the mat, arms by your side, heels fall open. Belonging starts with self-acceptance. Your level of belonging, in fact, can never be greater than your level of self-acceptance. Because believing that you are enough is what gives you the courage to be authentic, vulnerable, and imperfect. Try and love yourself right now, not as you hope to be next year, or where some future event happens, or you achieve some goal. Right now as you are. Inhale, bring your chin back to center. Frame your heart with your hands for extended cobra. Again, press into the tops of your feet. Inhale, grasshopper your elbows back. Straighten your arms as much as is comfortable in your body. Keep your belly drawn in to protect your lower back. Lengthen your neck. Look forward. One more. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. Right cheek to the mat. Arms by your sides. Release all muscular energy in your body. Stay open. Keep loving yourself. Know you are a vital part of the living universe. Watch how much better and how much kinder life is as you grow in peace and harmony with yourself. See how much more love is mirrored in the universe since you committed to loving yourself. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your chin back to center. Press into your hands. Come up through tabletop And meet in child's pose with your knees together. Sink your hips to your heels, reach your arms forward. Walk your hands to the upper left corner of the room. Leaning into your right side body, feel it stretch, feel it open. Then on your next inhale, we're going to open up to the side. Stack your right shoulder over your left shoulder. Look up past your right armpit. Try and keep your hips low. And big breath in. Exhale, fold back over and walk your hands to the right. That shift may be small. That's totally fine. It's just important to feel it. Lean into your left side body now. Create length there. On your next inhale, open up. Stack your left shoulder over your right. Look up past your armpit. And big breath in. Exhale, fold back forward. Come to center. Rise up to standing on your shins and prepare for modified rabbit. Separate your knees hip-width distance apart. Tuck your toes and your chin. Start to roll down and thread the needle with both your arms between your legs. Let them cross underneath you and hold the inside arches of the opposite foot. Bring the top of your head onto your mat. Lift your hips and round your spine. Stay here for a few rounds of breath. Can you lift your hips more? Can you round your spine more? One more inhale. Release your insteps. Rise up. Sit on your heels for a second. Toes on fire pose. Full breath in. Exhale, lift your hips. Swing your legs around and come into staff pose. Glue the backs of your legs on the floor and flex your feet. Reach your arms high and exhale, fold forward. If you're pretty flexible and pretty warm, maybe you grab both your toes, big toes, with your peace fingers. If you're a little bit tighter, like me, you can bend your left leg a tiny bit so that you can grab your toe and rest your right hand on your shin. Prepare for seated archer. On the inhale, pull on your toes, send your knee wide, and draw back your bow. Keep your right hand resting on your shin. Maybe you can lengthen your spine and reach your heart forward as you draw your knee behind you. One more breath in. Exhale, one-legged seat. Bring your left foot inside your right thigh and let your knee fall open. Reach your arms high and exhale, fold towards your extended right leg. On your next inhale, we're going to open up again. Stack your left shoulder over your right. Come into a side bend. How can you rotate your rib cage more? One more inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Bring your left hand behind your hip. Prepare for stargazer. Swing your hips up, reach overhead. Flash dance pose. Big breath in. Exhale, sit back down. Pick up your right foot and place it outside your left thigh for half lord of the fishes. Ground into both sits bones and twist to the right. Bring your left elbow outside your right thigh. Look over your right shoulder. Don't have a lot of weight in your hand, just like at the beginning of the class. Keep the structure of this pose in your spine. Hey, Rosie, she's so cute. I gave her some attention and now she wants to do yoga with us. One more inhale. Exhale, unwind. Hi, cutie. Happy Valentine's Day. Come back into your staff pose again, legs forward, arms high, and forward fold. Same option as last time. You can bend your right leg to help you capture your toes and bring your left hand on your shin. Then inhale, seated archer, draw back your bow, pull on your toe, knee goes wide. Try and keep your spine long, your heart lifted. Maybe you're still holding your left toes here. One more breath in. Exhale, bring your right foot inside your left thigh. Lengthen. Exhale, hollow out your belly and fold forward. Notice where your mind goes in the stillness. Can you keep it here with yourself? On your next inhale, come into a side bend, open up to the right, stack your right shoulder over your left. You can even bring your arm inside your extended leg and use that as leverage to help you twist open more. Look up past your right armpit. One more inhale. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, rise up, bring your right hand behind your hips. Flash dance up, rainbow your hips and arm high. Beautiful counter stretch. And then exhale, lower your hips back down. Pick up your left foot, plant it outside your right thigh, and twist to the left. Use your right elbow to help you twist deeper. Keep your weight in your hips, not in your hand. Look to the back of the room. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Come into Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together. Hold your toes, round your spine, and then roll back onto your mat, but not your dog. This happens a lot when I practice at home. She usually moves. Come into happy baby. Pull on your toes, or maybe you hold your shins or the backs of your thighs. Take whatever movements feel good to you. And then on the next inhale, pull down on your toes and lift your head and shoulders. Imagine you could kiss your feet. Curl up. Exhale, release your toes, bring your knees together. Full wind removing pose. Hug your legs. Forehead to knees. Biggest inhale of class. And exhale into Shavasana. Send your legs long. Open your feet, your hips, your shoulders, your heart, and your mind. And spend a few moments just with yourself. I'll close with a quote by Theodore Isaac Rubin. I must learn to love the fool in me, the one who feels too much, talks too much, takes too many chances, wins sometimes and loses often, lacks self-control, loves and hates, hurts and gets hurt, promises and breaks promises, laughs and cries. It alone protects me against that utterly self-controlled, masterful tyrant whom I also harbor, and who would rob me of my human aliveness, humility, and dignity, but for my fool. Begin to deepen and lengthen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle out your ankles and your wrists. Let your head fall to one side and then to the other. Inhale, take a long good morning stretch. Point your toes, reach your arms overhead. And exhale into fetal pose on your favorite side, using your bicep as a pillow. Use this moment and this posture of rebirth to set an intention for Valentine's week. This week, any time that you see a box of chocolates or some red roses, rather than thinking of another, take the opportunity to send yourself a little love. Knowing that self-love is an important prerequisite to any healthy relationship. So this Valentine's Day, be yours. On your next inhale, rise up with as little movement as possible to a comfortable seat on your mat. Bring your hands to your heart. Feel the support of the earth underneath you and the inspiration of the heavens above you. Bring your hands to third eye center. The light, the love, the teacher, the student, and the hot mess in me recognizes and adores the light, the love, the teacher, the student, and the hot mess in each of you. Namaste. Yay! Thanks for coming today. This is one of my favorite topics. If you go to my website, BeFreeYogaAustin.com, the Buzz article is all about loving ourselves. And I address body image, which I think is really critical for both men and women in our culture. And as a special treat this week, I'm also doing a video talk on that subject, a video buzz, which I'll release on YouTube and on my website. So check that out. And the guided meditation is just all about finding things to love about ourselves. It guides you through it in more of a feeling, spiritual aspect as opposed to all mental. So it's a nice complement to all the other practices this week for Valentine's Day. I hope you have a lovely time loving yourself, and I'll see you next week at Be Free Yoga. Thank you.